And welcome to SA Sports Show. I'm Greg Anderson and my co-host Barry Curtin. Welcome, Barry.
Greg, great to be back.
What a show we've got. It's
Big one.
packed in today.
It's a big one.
Packed in.
And some great guests.
Yep. We've got a very special tipster, which I don't want to reveal just yet. Class act. Of course, we've got Craig Warman from the Southern Football League, and he's got a guest, Nikki Kaur from the women's
Premiers.
Premiers from South Adelaide, which is fantastic. Peter Oldfield from the Southern Slugs.
Interesting story.
It is a very interesting story, isn't it? Yeah.
It's something that you and I should be involved in, I think.
I think you might have just passed that. But anyway, Mark Farahi of South Australian boy, and he's producing the Tour de France. My God, he's done it for the last 15 years. What a success story that is.
Another terrific story.
Yeah,
great story.
So stay with us. It's going to be a great show. So here we are for some sports news.
Thanks, guys. And in this week's news, Adelaide Adrenaline has split the points with the Sydney Ice Dogs in two thrilling games over the weekend. Adrenaline took the first game with a strong victory, boasting 4 different goal scorers. They fell to the Ice Dogs the following game after conceding multiple penalties in the second half. Adrenaline will travel to Victoria to face the Melbourne Ice this weekend and relish the opportunity to top the table early in the season. Both Port Adelaide and the Crows enjoyed comfortable wins over the weekend as they both sit in the top 8. Bryce Gibbs will face his former team when the Crows take on Carlton, and Port will be making the tough journey over to WA to face the Eagles. Joe Inglis has led the Utah Jazz to an inspiring NBA playoff win over a strong Oklahoma City. It took only 6 games to down the star-studded Thunder, who were heavily favoured to take out the series. Inglis averaged just over 14 points a game and provided a threatening presence on the three-point line. The Jazz now face a tough tasking on the championship favourites, the Houston Rockets, in the semi-finals. The 2018 Suncorp Super Netball season is officially underway, with the Adelaide Thunderbirds unable to contain the West Coast fever at home. The T-Birds' young goal circle performed with great accuracy, but a competition record 66 goals from the Fever's Janelle Fowler was too much for the girls to overcome. Adelaide will play in front of a home crowd again this Saturday as they prepare to redeem themselves against the Giants. Marryatville High student Alex Hoberg is only 16 years old and narrowly missed a medal in the Commonwealth Games for shooting, and now he has his eyes on something even bigger. The Wingfield Rifle Club member is preparing for the Youth Summer Olympics in Argentina later this year and is hoping to compete in Tokyo in 2020. Another young South Aussie is stepping into the spotlight this week, with tennis prodigy Eddie Vo writing himself into the history books. At just 14 years old, Eddie has become the first player ever to claim both an under-12 and under-14 grass court single title at the National Championships. In 2008, SA's own Thanasi Kokonakis won the under-12 nationals and made it pro just a few years later, a goal Eddie is well and truly tracking to achieve. This young man is someone will certainly need to keep an eye on in the future. Exciting scenes at the Glenelg Golf Club as Adelaide local Antonio Madaka beat out 40 other professionals to claim the Blitz Golf title. Madaka was one of only 4 South Aussies to make it through to the 3rd round. He finished strong and showed his class against big-name golfers Craig Perry and Michael Long. That's all in this week's news, guys. See you next week, and thanks for tuning in.
Well, Barry, plenty of news there. Now we've got a very special AFL guest tipster.
Yes.
Peter Tilbrook, welcome along. Thanks for
Thank you very
joining
much
us.
indeed. It's a pleasure to be here.
Master and Apprentices, what a great band. I mean, I know we're talking many years
I
ago,
know,
but
yeah.
hasn't it carried through generation after generation?
Well, the fact that
some
I'm
great songs.
still doing it, I'm still singing the same songs. With my last partner, who just passed away when he went to Thailand, we did 4,855 gigs together. Now, at every one of those, I would have sung "Turn Up Your Radio," and it's because I love you.
I was going to say that to our viewers. Turn up your radio. That's a huge song, wasn't it?
Massive song.
We just keep going. I've always said to my wife, when the fingers give away, or the throat gives away, that's when I give it away.
We're talking 60s here. We're talking...
67, 68 was, and early 69 was, that's right. And then we went into 70, 71. But the band started in 1965 as a band called the Mustangs, and they basically concentrated on instrumentals. It was only when Jim Keys joined the band, the singer, that it wasn't his name. He didn't have the name. It was another guy in another band came up with the name The Masters Apprentices.
Become legendary status, didn't it, really?
Yeah, it was a band called The Others, and he said, look, you're playing all the stuff from Bo Diddley and B.B. King and Howlin' Wolf, so why don't you call yourself the Masters Apprentices of the Masters of the Blues? That's how it all came about.
Which worked unbelievably, really. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about the songs that the band made are still being played today.
Still being played today.
Yep. TV ads, radio ads. They're
TV serials, things like
may
Sea
not-
Change, and often I'm sitting there with my wife, I'm watching TV, and there's our song again.
There's a song again.
Yeah.
It's amazing story, really. A couple of Adelaide boys.
They were all Adelaide to start with. Every one of them was from Adelaide. But when the band went to Melbourne, they were only there about a month or a couple of months. And the first one left and he came back to Adelaide. He didn't like living out of suitcases and all the screaming and all that. And then another one left because he had a nervous breakdown. And so that progressively we replaced them with guys. Well, here's the secret. In Melbourne, we lived in Carlisle Avenue, which is a dead-end street. At the end of the street, there was several other bands down there, so we didn't have to go very far to get our musician. And down at one end was a band called Running, Jumping, Standing Still, who had records and they were on TV. Now, we got Doug Ford, who was the guy who actually wrote Turn Up Your Radio. So we got him when the other guy got it. And then our bass player, Gavin, became sick through eating too many hamburgers and pretty poor eating habits, I can tell you. He became sick, so when I actually went on bass for a while to hold his position open, we said, don't go away, I'll play bass, you come back when you're fit. But he decided not to. So we went down to the same block of flats and we got Glenn Wheatley, who was playing with another band. And then when he left that band, they changed their name from the Bay City Union to Chain. Another amazing band.
Chain,
because in that you've got
band.
Phil Manning and Matt Taylor.
Great band.
And then after Glenn Wheatley left, they got Wendy Saddington. So that's where the whole birth of that band was because we grabbed Glenn Wheatley. And walked 8 houses up the road.
Now, this is very, very important because we've got a lot of viewers waiting for your tips. I'm telling you, they'll be waiting for your tips.
But we want to find out his football background first, don't we, Greg? What is your football background?
Absolutely zero.
Zero, right.
All right, well, just let the viewers know. But
I did play a little bit of soccer in primary school.
There you go.
And I kicked the ball in high school.
He's the perfect tipster then because every tipping competition out there at the moment...
You throw a dart.
It's being led by the tea lady.
That's it.
That's it. You got it.
Well in
exactly
there.
right.
Well
Okay, for Friday night, we've got Geelong, Greater Western Sydney.
At Geelong.
At Geelong. So
Yeah,
we
well, I'm going to go with Great
Peter?
Western Sydney.
All right, yep. Western Bulldogs versus the Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
Oh.
Okay.
Why is that?
I just like them. I've seen some pretty good games with
It's going
them.
to be at Ballarat.
They impress me.
It's going to be a tough ask for them. But Essendon versus Hawthorn at the G.
Hawthorn.
Right, that's a cross against your name. West Coast versus Port Adelaide.
Somebody's twisting my arm here, but I'm going to say Port Adelaide.
Good on you, mate.
But I'll say again, I'm a South Australian, and I'll go with Port Adelaide any day.
Big game at Port Adelaide, especially at the new stadium in Perth. Sydney versus North Melbourne.
Yeah, Swans. I'll go with Swans.
Okay, SCG. So Adelaide versus Carlton.
Got to go with the Crows. Absolutely got to go with the Crows.
You are a big Crow supporter.
I'm a Crow supporter.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Richmond on Sunday now. Richmond versus Fremantle.
Got to be Richmond.
Yeah, I think you're right there. St Kilda versus Melbourne.
Now, I'm going to say St Kilda because I actually lived in St Kilda for a long, long time with the Masters. That's where we started.
It'd be a good game.
That's
Now, I know they're down the bottom.
That's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been too bad. They've been poor at
Melbourne
times.
haven't been consistent either, so it's going to be not a bad game.
Yeah,
that one.
I used to go around on the oval down there when I was in the bands.
Yeah, okay,
So that's
Brisbane Lions versus Collingwood at the Gabba.
Now I'm going to go with Collingwood because I've always liked their style.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And
so
their management.
We'll see how.
We're going to follow this very carefully.
I'm going to follow this as well, actually. I want to follow.
I will be watching too.
Do you know people out there put their hard-earned on this, don't they? They follow this very closely.
There they go.
You know.
Barry, we've got a treat though. We've got a very special treat for the viewers and ourselves. You know,
Brilliant.
Because you're going to sing a little song for us.
Yes, I brought the guitar in. Yep.
And now we've got a very special treat. Peter Tilbrook now singing "It's Because I Love You."
It's because I love you far apart. It's because I love you, and because you're near me too. It's because I miss you, oh how long it seems to be. It's because I miss you, thoughts of you come back to me. Ooh, do what you wanna do, be what you wanna be, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Do what you wanna do, be what you wanna be, yeah. Ooh, do what you wanna do, be what you wanna be, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Do what you wanna do, be what you wanna be, yeah. Once we walked together from the field up to the hill, promised love forever. I remember that day still. It's because I love you, I'll come home to you someday. It's because I love you, in the thought you'll always stay.